children out there who might need a home? And have you ever been interested in perhaps becoming a foster parent yourself? Well, I'm talking to two experts, Cheryl Lambert and Nicole Crenshaw, both with CHR Health. Thank you, ladies, for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having us.
CHR, for those who don't know, is the state's most comprehensive nonprofit behavioral health care agency. It offers a wide range of services, but especially right now, there is a need for therapeutic foster families. And Nicole, let me start with you. Who makes a good candidate to be a foster parent?
Anyone with a giving spirit, open, just loving their heart to give back to someone and room in their home. But it really can be anyone, a single parent, a two-parent household, if you're working full-time, part-time, just really having a desire and passion for others and children in need. So it really can be anyone.
And Cheryl, I understand it's a lot of maybe the older children between the ages of 11 and 17 that really need the help right now.
It seems to be like most of our children fall between those ages that have a need in our state right now. So absolutely. And, it's a very difficult time in life anyway, to be a child just under the best of circumstances. So the children that find themselves in foster care have an additional struggle and really need adults in their lives who can meet them where they are and take them where they can potentially be.
Can you do a little myth busting for us? Maybe people think, oh, I'd like to do that, but I don't have enough training, or it's going to be too expensive. What are some of the obstacles that people talk about that maybe perhaps aren't real obstacles for them?
Oh, absolutely. So before you can become a foster parent at our level or at the DCF level, you would need some additional training. So we give that to you before you even meet a child. That happens. And we present ideas to you and concepts about trauma and what that looks like and how you can help and how you can support and how you can give the child tools in their toolkit so that eventually they grow up and can handle those traumas on their own or know where to ask for help when they need help. So you become like the anchor and the home base for that child with the training and support that you get from us. And you get a stipend, a daily stipend that comes once a month. That helps offset the cost of a child, because certainly we don't want to put you in financial ruin to reach out your heart and take care of a child, right? You're reaching out with your heart and you want to give that child a stable home. So we don't want it to cost you any money. As a state, we don't want that to happen. But you did get a stipend to cover those costs.
And Nicole, I know you have the heartwarming experience of matching children and teens to their forever home. Talk about that journey.
Yes, it's quite rewarding because what we do is, as foster parents or applicants go through the process of becoming parents, we do what's called a license study. And that's really like a biography on your life, of who you are, what obstacles you've overcome. So what I do is attend presentations weekly on children who are in need of a foster home and looking at what experience or trauma they've been through and being able to match them to a foster parent who can handle those behaviors or the experiences that they've gone through and kind of match the two together. So if you have a parent who's been through a similar trauma, that might be a positive because they're resilient and they've able to overcome it, because life happens, it's real life and people go through things. So being able to match the two, or if you've gone through some type of trauma in your life as a parent and that could be a trigger for you, then we'll say, okay, this probably isn't the right combo of fit for a parent and child, and then we'll look for another one that would be the best match for the two. But it's wonderful, especially when we see those long-term cases of children being able to reunify or becoming adopted with with one of our foster parents.
And in fact, that's why you need some foster parents to consider signing up, because you have had a lot of successful matches. And I want to ask you both, is there something special right now about the timing as we're moving past, we hope, fingers crossed, the worst of the pandemic?
Yes, absolutely. Now more than ever, it's really a need for foster parents, because what you have is, as the country's kind of open back up, you still have people on alert, different camps and programs where we need parents with the flexibility where if a child is exposed to someone else at a camp and they need to go home and quarantine for 10 days, they might not have COVID, but they're just having to go home for a little while. That's where the need is for parents who might be working from home or availability in their schedule to help out. That's definitely a high priority for us, is finding foster parents who have the flexibility in their schedule or family support to take care of our children, because even though the world shut down, foster care never does. So we've always had a need, even throughout the whole process.
Let's say you are listening to this and you think, I want to do this. How long does the whole process take before you're matched?
I would estimate.
Matching can happen pretty quickly, actually. So go ahead, Nicole.
Okay. No, you, sorry, Cheryl. Yeah, because I'm thinking start to finish from like the training, but matching can happen. She's right, very quickly. But even thinking of the start to finish from like the application through the training class, right now, the state of Connecticut, in addition to our agency and other agencies similar, have been able to revise the training so that it's condensed to what used to be over 10 weeks to a 4-week training, where we can get parents in the door. We have virtual options as well, so that we can get parents trained, obtain the support that they need to understand what they're getting involved in. So that, in itself is about 4 weeks, but then matching can be a matter of the day you open. We might have an emergency placement that would be perfect for that parent. So I'd say anywhere from, I'd give about 3 to 6 months per se, but we can go as, quick as needed.
Okay. And Cheryl, I don't know if this is the right question for you, but talk about some of the kids what they're like and what they want.
Well, at the end of the day, they're children. They're just kids. And they're kids that have had to face some things that we hope kids would never have to face. But when Nicole talked about historically, we've all been children at one point in our lives, and we probably have all gone through some pretty tough things. So while we don't know what it's like to walk in somebody else's shoes, obviously, because we're not that person, we do have that connection and empathy so that we know what it's like to feel scared, and we know what it's like to feel that you have the tools to handle whatever comes your way. So it's easy to identify with children as, like, I know what it was like to be a child. I don't know what you go through, but I can let you know that these are some of the things that make you resilient. These are the lessons you can take with you to build on your life. So at the end of the day, they're just kids, and understanding that they're just children that have been through a lot. And then maybe, I might have a child in care who's chronologically, that kiddo's 11, but developmentally, because they didn't get those steps that they needed, to age chronologically and developmentally the same way, the kiddo might present more like a 5-year-old in some ways, and a 22-year-old in other ways, really depending on what that person has gone through in their young life. So it's meeting the child where they are. You know what it was like to be 5 at some point, and just understanding that what's being presented is that behavior is asking for a need. So becoming, like I call it, curious. Let's get curious about what that communication is, and meeting that person where he or she is, meeting that need, and then having them be able to grow from that. And again, add to their toolkit.
I know that empty nesters are folks that you say sometimes it's a great program for them, and they can be reliable adults who've lived it. But what about if you are in the midst of raising your own kids? Does that work too?
That can work too. It really depends on, we never say no to anybody. We say, come give us a call and check us out. Let's chat. Let's have a realistic conversation about your household and how it's structured, and whether this is a good fit for you or it isn't a good fit for you now. And maybe if it is a good fit in the future, come back in the future. But we certainly have foster parents who have their own biological children in the home, and that has been an asset.
Okay. It
truly depends on the family structure, because, there's no better connection for a child than another child. We all know that, right? So that has been very beneficial on many occasions. So I would say, if you have your own family and you're interested, please reach out, give us a call, and we will, contact you and let you know all of the information. We'll sit with you. We'll talk with you. Yeah. Nicole is very good at explaining the program and the ups, the downs, and the challenges. So we try not to sugarcoat anything, and we let you know what you're getting yourself into. And at the end of the day, if it's still a good match for you, then you've got the tenacity to be a foster parent for sure.
Absolutely. And Nicole, I just want to get the phone number out there and you can tell folks how to do this. But if you want to learn more, it's 860-730-8727. That's 860-730-8727. Your web address, chrhealth.org. Anything else that people need to know if they're thinking, gosh, I want to learn more and this is now the time?
I would
I
say
take
if you
this
have that
as
thought, your heart's guiding you in a certain direction. So please reach out and at least investigate it for yourself,
Yep. And Nicole?
and then make a decision based on that.
Yeah. And Nicole,
absolutely.
I know you've got some
Yep.
success stories. Or anything you want to add?
Now is the time. This is your sign. If you're looking for it, because it takes, I believe it's over a dozen times for people to see and think about it before they make the call. Right now, this interview that they're watching, it is your sign. Give us a call, make that first step, and we would love to have a conversation with you. You won't be alone in the process. We'll walk you through it, and we're here. We're here to guide you throughout the way.
I love that. I was reading that it's also not just in the beginning. I mean, as you do this, you have 24/7 support from CHR case managers as things come up. That would have been nice for anyone raising kids.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And we have ongoing training as well. And I can't tell you the number of people that have said who do have children, this made me a better parent. I had my first baby. I had no idea about these things. So they felt made them a better parent as their own children were journeying towards adulthood as well.
Well, I really appreciate you both being here. Nicole and Cheryl, want to let everyone know, again, if you're reading this and you're feeling something in your heart, you want to explore it, at least make the phone call. You can go to chrhealth.org to find out more information. Thank you both for sharing the information.
You're so welcome. And thank you so much for having us.
us.